Section 1. Realizing dark psychology and its impact on the unconscious mind. Before you even take a step toward attracting someone, you need to know exactly what you're using. Dark psychology is not just a scary term. It's the hidden tool that some people use to control your mind without you even knowing it. And you can learn it too, but only if you're ready to face the truth. Exact definition of dark psychology. Dark psychology refers to a set of techniques and behavioral patterns used to influence others' thoughts, emotions, and decisions without them realizing it. These techniques are commonly used by individuals like professional salespeople, marketers, negotiators, and of course, manipulators in relationships. 3 core elements of dark psychology: suggestion and mental influence, such as NLP or persuasive tone; control of emotions and triggers, such as fear, jealousy, pride; manipulating perception, such as gaslighting or distorting reality. Why is understanding this field important? To know what works best, you need to understand how people think, decide, and become emotionally attached. We don't get attracted to someone just because they're beautiful or wealthy. We're often attracted to the emotions that person evokes in us. And dark psychology is exactly about playing with these emotions. Practical example: imagine you're sitting in a cafe. A girl walks in and your attention is drawn to her. Instead of walking directly to her or complimenting her, you just look at her, but in a specific way. Direct eye contact, no smile, a slight pause, and then you slowly look away. What happens? Her brain processes this look as a signal. This person is different. Why did they stare at me and then look away? Why didn't they smile? This stimulates curiosity, creates a sense of challenge, and makes her feel valuable. That means, without saying a word, you've used a classic dark psychology technique, the indirect presence effect. Plus scarcity, plus non-verbal confidence. My personal opinion: dark psychology works when you have a clear and ethical goal. True attraction happens when you have the power to influence, not when you pretend to be attractive. This power comes from knowing yourself, understanding the other person's mind, and controlling the emotional space of the relationship. Instead of seeking to deceive, we should aim to create calculated influence. At the end of this section, now you know what dark psychology is and why it can be so effective. You've learned that with a specific and controlled look, you can create deep feelings in the other person's mind. Keep watching the video, because in the second part, I'll teach you techniques that will show you exactly how to influence a girl's mind with words, silence, and simple gestures. Section 2. How to enter her mind without speaking. In the world of dark psychology, your first tools aren't words. They're your body, your silence, and that special tone when you speak, which locks the other person's subconscious. 1. Body language. Words you speak without speaking. Body language is the most powerful attraction tool before starting a conversation. Most people are unaware of it, but girls are unconsciously very sensitive to it. Technique 1. Power posture. When you enter a room or space, stand straight, shoulders back, chin slightly up. Don't look around nervously. Stand confidently as if you're waiting for everyone to come to you. Example: imagine you're sitting in a party or cafe. A girl enters and you want to attract her attention. If you're slouching, holding your phone, or looking around aimlessly, she won't register you in her mind. But if you sit with a strong posture and establish brief yet direct eye contact, she'll unconsciously perceive you as the leader of the space. 2. Silence. The art of hidden attraction. Nothing is more powerful than silence at the right moment. If you're constantly talking to a girl, you're transmitting insecurity. But if you pause during conversations, look at her, and let her speak first, you're engaging her subconscious. Technique 2. Pause at key moments. When she asks a question, pause for 1 to 2 seconds before answering. This not only shows that you have control over your emotions, but also makes your answers seem deeper and more mysterious. 3. Tone of voice. The rhythm that attracts the unconscious mind. You don't need to have a deep voice or sound like a movie character, but you should be able to play with the rhythm of your voice. Voice should be calm, measured but firm. Slower at certain points, louder and more determined in key moments. Technique 3. Descending tone. When you finish your sentences with a descending tone, like, "I'll stand right here," it conveys confidence, authority, and attractiveness to the other person's brain. In contrast, rising tones, "Is that okay?" convey insecurity. Complete combined example, body language, plus silence, plus voice. Imagine you're casually sitting next to a girl at a shared table. Simply, with a small smile, you say, "You picked a good spot." Then you fall silent, you look at her, you wait for her to speak. Then, with a calm voice, you say, "I usually pick the seat by the window. There's a reason," and finish it with a lowered tone. This means confidence, control, and mystery. My opinion. These techniques may seem simple at first glance, but the real charm lies in the details. Someone who can capture the mind with their presence, even before speaking, has control over the game. And dark psychology teaches you this art. Being impactful without saying a word. At the end of this section, you now have 3 primary tools for entering a girl's unconscious mind: physical presence, silence, and voice. From here, we'll move on to verbal influence. This means understanding which words cause emotional involvement, curiosity, and attraction. Section 3. The magic of words. Enter her heart with your words, not just her mind. There are words that just make a girl happy, and there are words that engage her mind, occupy her heart, and make her subconscious addicted to you. You need to know the difference between these two. Rule 1. Sentences should be simple yet multi-layered. In dark psychology, the goal of speech isn't momentary attraction, but to build a mental space. It means saying something that the person will think about for hours afterward. Technique 1. 2-layer sentence. You're just not like the others. I don't know why, but there's something in your gaze that feels so familiar. This sentence causes mental engagement because it gives her a sense of uniqueness. Her mind starts looking for an explanation. The feeling of familiarity creates an emotional connection. Rule 2. Emotional questions with a hint of mystery. Questions that don't require an answer, but instead engage the mind. Technique 2. Indirect, impactful question. Have you ever seen someone and felt like you've met them before, but you can't remember when or where? Why does it work? Without directly pointing it out, you're conveying a feeling of familiarity and connection. Women's minds love mystery and multi-interpretation. Rule 3. Using emotional and imaginative analogies. Women's emotions are more activated by imagination than logic. Poetic or indirect analogies are much more impactful. Technique 3. Emotional analogy. Your feeling is like that moment when the sun comes out after the rain, shining on your skin. It can't be explained, you just have to feel it. This sentence is highly emotional and indisputable, creates a connection with that rare and beautiful moment, takes her into mental imagery, linking that image with you. Practical example in action. Cafe conversation. Girl, you're so easy to talk to. Have you always been this way? You, with a short pause and calm voice. Only with people who have something special in their eyes. Direct gaze, slight smile. Something that suddenly throws you into memories you done. to know whether actually happened or just existed in your mind. In this moment, you've activated her curiosity and transferred a feeling deeper than a normal conversation. My opinion. Many people think being attractive means big words or excessive compliments, but dark psychology teaches you. Say less, but make each sentence like a drop of poison. Quiet, subtle, but lasting. The sentences we've shared here might seem simple, but their purpose is clear. Entering the unconscious mind of a woman with soft but controlling words. At the end of this section, you have learned how to engage both the mind and the heart of the other person with your words. You can now have maximum impact with the fewest words. Section 4. The push-pull game. Attract through emotional oscillation, not begging. Everyone thinks to attract a girl you have to be warm and affectionate all the time. But those who really get you are the ones who get caught between warmth and ambiguity. 1. Psychological principle, the law of oscillation push-pull. In dark psychology, emotional attachment usually forms in controlled instability. This means the other person gets both attracted and confused simultaneously. Push? No, getting closer with a special warmth. Pull. Creating distance with silence, indifference, or ambiguity. This technique makes their mind constantly want to uncover the reason behind your behavior, and this search creates attachment. 2. Practical techniques for creating oscillation. Technique 1. Controlled interest. When you're with her, be intensely focused and affectionate, but then disappear for a while or respond coldly. Example. In chat, being with you tonight felt special. Then the next day, don't text at all or reply only with an emoji. This contradiction confuses her mind and makes her attached. A woman's mind doesn't seek stability, it seeks deciphering. Technique 2. End in the middle of the high. When the conversation or meeting is at its peak and emotionally enjoyable, end it there. Example. I know you wanted to talk more, but let's leave this good feeling for next time. This makes her curiosity and desire for the next interaction even stronger. Technique 3. Artificial time constraint. Tell her you have limited time, but don't make yourself fully available. Practical example. I only have 10 minutes, but I didn't want today to end without seeing you. Her mind registers the contradiction between limitation and attention, and this is where your absence becomes addictive. Scene. Example for video use. Location. A quiet park, cloudy weather. Scenario. When you told her you're not like the others, the sparkle in her eyes shined. But 5 minutes later you said, I have to go. Something came up. At that moment, she didn't feel you were leaving. She felt you took something from her that she still couldn't understand. And that's exactly what makes her think about you all night. My opinion. Many still think, always be kind to attract. But in this game, too much kindness equals being free. Emotional oscillation keeps the woman's mind between questions and feelings. And that's exactly where attachment is formed. At the end of this section, you have now learned how to turn a normal relationship into an intense and dependent connection with the push-pull technique. Your power lies in knowing when to be warm, when to disappear, and when to turn everything upside down with a single sentence. Section 5. Entering the unconscious. Where her choice is actually your choice. People think falling in love is a conscious decision, but the truth is, the unconscious has already decided. We just find out later. Now the question is, can you capture her unconscious? 1. Technique. Emotional reflection. Mirror effect. The human brain shows trust and affection to those it sees itself in. How to do it? Reflect her reactions, not exactly, but smartly. When she's excited, be excited too. When she pauses, pause a bit too. When she has a specific belief or opinion, instead of opposing, present a similar viewpoint. This tricks her subconscious into thinking, "You're just like me, a more special and confident version." 2. NLP technique, planting desired mental imagery. By using specific words, you can create emotional images in her mind. For example, when talking about the future, indirectly imagine yourself with her. Practical example. Do you know? There are some places you need to go with someone special. A place where you sit by the sea, talk, and listen to the waves. You feel that person understands your words. An image is created, a feeling is formed, and her unconscious clings to you because you caused that feeling. 3. Technique, conditioned positive association. Whenever you're with her, create a feeling of safety and positivity. For example, every time she sees you, use a specific smile or joke. Use a specific scent or music. After a while, her unconscious will associate that positive feeling only with you. Result, even when you're not around, music, a phrase, or a scent will remind her of you. And this means you've become part of her unconscious mind. Cinematic scenario. For this section, location. Open space, nighttime, city lights. When that night you told her, "Everything feels familiar," she just smiled. But she didn't understand why her heart raced when she saw you. Why every time she smells that specific scent, she remembers your smile. Or when the music you joked with her about plays in a cafe, she unconsciously smiles. This isn't a coincidence. You've infiltrated her unconscious. You've become a memory that can't be erased. Final summary. Through this video, you've learned the power of ambiguity, that you don't always want to make everything clear. How to use body language and control your gaze. You can attract without speaking. The push-pull technique. You created deep attraction with emotional contrast. Entering the unconscious, you've created attachment without the other person even knowing. Now the choice is yours. Do you want to be one of those who are always seeking attraction? Or do you want to be someone who captures the mind without even trying directly? If this lesson was helpful to you, subscribe and hit the notification bell to not miss future professional lessons. Tell us in the comments which technique you used and what results you got.